One forgotten letter buried in my mom's attic uncovered a secret that turned my quiet life in Ohio into a journey of lies, family mysteries, and a father I never knew existed. My name is Daniel. I'm 25 years old, and I live in a quiet town in Ohio. It's the kind of place where everyone knows your name, where the biggest event of the year is the county fair, and where life moves at a steady, predictable pace. I never thought I'd be the kind of person to stumble into a mystery that would upend everything I thought I knew. But one ordinary afternoon, a single letter I found in my mom's drawer changed my entire life. It all started when I decided to clean the attic. It was a crisp fall day, the kind where the air smells like leaves and wood smoke. The trees outside our old Victorian house were turning shades of amber and crimson, and I'd been putting off the attic cleanup for weeks. Mom had been asking me to tackle it since summer, but I'd always found an excuse: work, friends, or just plain laziness. That Saturday, though, I ran out of reasons to procrastinate. With a thermos of coffee and a playlist of classic rock, I climbed the creaky wooden stairs to the attic, not knowing I was about to step into something much bigger than a dusty chore. The attic was a maze of forgotten things: boxes of Christmas decorations, my old baseball trophies, stacks of yellowed books, and furniture that hadn't seen daylight in decades. The air was thick with dust, and the single bulb hanging from the ceiling cast long shadows across the floorboards. I started sorting through the clutter, separating what could be donated from what needed to go to the dump. That's when I found it. An old wooden chest tucked in the far corner, half hidden under a moth-eaten quilt. The chest wasn't locked, but it was heavy, its hinges rusted from years of neglect. I pried it open, expecting to find more of Mom's old knickknacks, maybe some costume jewelry or faded photo albums. Instead, I found a bundle of letters tied with a faded red ribbon. They were addressed to my mom, but the handwriting was unfamiliar, sharp and slanted, like it belonged to someone who wrote with purpose. Most of the letters were postmarked from the late 1990s, a few years before I was born. Curious, I untied the ribbon and pulled out the topmost letter. The paper was brittle, the ink slightly faded, but the words hit me like a punch to the gut. "Eleanor, I know you told me to stay away, but I can't. Not when I know the truth about what happened. You can't keep this secret forever. He deserves to know who he is." My heart skipped a beat. Mom's name is Eleanor, and I'm her only child. Was this me? What secret? My hands trembled as I read on, the letter hinting at something vague but heavy. A past my mom had never mentioned, a choice she'd made, and someone she'd left behind. The letter was signed simply J, with no last name, no clue to who this person was. I dug through the rest of the bundle, but none of the other letters were as explicit. They spoke of meetings that never happened, promises broken, and a life Mom had walked away from. One mentioned a place called Willow Creek, a town I'd never heard of, somewhere out west. I sat back on the attic floor, the letter clutched in my hand, my mind racing. Mom had always been open with me, or so I thought. She'd raised me alone, telling me my dad was a high school sweetheart who'd left before I was born. She never spoke of him with bitterness, just a quiet acceptance, and I'd never pressed for details. But this letter suggested something else entirely. I can't tell what happened next in the short video, the full story on channel link below.